wrong. No parent should have to question whether their child is safe at school. No child should suffer in silence because they cannot speak.
This is the story of 7-year-old Semaj Lee from Louisville, Kentucky. He is described by his mom as being nonverbal and autistic, but despite that, he is a sweet and loving boy. But sadly, on May 13th, 2026, Tiphanee Lee, which is Semaj's mom, would find out that his elementary school had been abusing him. She found this out by placing a camera in his hair and sent him to school. I want to read to you a letter that Tiphanee wrote to the principal, and this will give you an idea of the chain of events that occurred before May 13th. Tiphanee stated that over the past few months, she had been receiving multiple phone calls from her son's elementary school that Semaj had been abusive towards teachers and other students. Anyone who truly knows my child knows this is not who he is. He is a sweet and loving boy, and the behavior that they are describing did not sit right with me. A few weeks ago, his main teacher was out for about a week due to grievance, and during that time, things became even worse for my son. I started receiving phone calls every single day, but nothing that clearly explained why the sudden change was happening. I asked the school multiple times if I could come sit in the classroom to observe, and I never received a proper response or the necessary paperwork to do so. On May 12th, 2026, I received yet another message about my son's behavior. At that point, I felt lost. I got on my knees, I prayed, and I cried. Something in my spirit told me I needed to see for myself what was really going on. I ordered a hidden camera with 3-hour shipping, but it arrived in 2. I truly believe that was confirmation. On May 13th, 2026, I sent my son to school with the camera hidden in his ponytail. It was not visible at all. At around noon, I received a call from the principal stating that she noticed the camera while my son was in the sensory room, which means he was already upset. She told me it was against board rules and regulations, so I went to pick him up immediately. When I got home, I hooked the camera up right away. The first few clips seemed normal, but then everything changed. I heard teachers openly discussing marijuana and eating weed brownies. My son's teacher left to go to the restroom. My son tried to go with her, almost like he was afraid to be left alone. She told him no, and when he went back to his seat, within 30 seconds, the situation took a devastating turn. The assistant teacher, Mr. R., approached my son aggressively. While parts were not fully visible, the audio and partial footage tell the story. It is not visually clear, only shadowy. Heavy movement, but the voice is strong, aggressive, and undeniable. The look does not need to be justified. As a parent, close your eyes and ask yourself, what do you hear? I hear a fight that my child has no control over and will definitely not win. His tone was vicious, abusive, filled with racism and hate. I will not repeat everything that was said. I will only allow the footage to speak for itself. But I heard things no child should ever hear, especially not a nonverbal autistic child. Let me be clear, my son stims. He's nonverbal and autistic. His stimming includes clapping, especially when he is overwhelmed or agitated. In the footage, you can hear his clapping, then it stops. What follows are screams from my child while this grown man is physically and verbally abusing him. At one point, you can hear a whisper that sounds like nigger. What are you doing? Along with other hateful, degrading language directed at a child who can't speak for himself. This broke me. My son, Semaj, deserves justice. He deserves safety. He deserves to be protected, not harmed. He is the only black child in that classroom, and he was clearly not safe. Mr. R needs to be held accountable. This is beyond acceptable. No child should ever have to experience this. I will be sharing the footage. My son deserves justice, and I will not stop until he get it. Now, there is videos online that Tiphanee shared of the event that occurred. So as I mentioned, she did place a camera in his hair, and when she got that footage home, she could hear what was going on, but she couldn't necessarily see everything. And so in the next clip, you're going to see where Tiphanee picked Semaj up from school that day when they noticed that he had the camera in his hair. And then you'll also see a press conference as well. And I really do hope that Tiphanee gets justice. She really, really deserves it, as well as Semaj.
What's up, buddy?
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. What's wrong with him?
Nothing. We just can't have anything. You said he had that tracker on. We just can't have any kind of recording devices or tracking devices. It's just against board policy. So you don't have to take him home. We just can't have anything on him. So it's totally up to you.
Who touches her?
Nobody touched his hair. We just looked down and saw a blue flashing light in his head. Nobody touched him. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I had to go in there for the sensory room, and it was just flashing, and I was like, sometimes, people I have family that has seen devices, so I just didn't know. I thought maybe it was something like that. But, and then I was like, well, to my knowledge, he doesn't have anything like that. So you can just see it.
So yeah, no, we didn't touch it or anything. So no, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, once I did, I was like, oh, and then I left it alone. I was like, I'm not getting into it.
But I just think the worst thing in my life. My son had a camera in his hair, and Mr. R is beating my baby, grabbing him by the neck and beating my child for no reason. Soon as Sarah walked out the classroom to go to the restroom on camera, Mr. R is strangling my baby. He's just strangling my child for no reason. For no reason, he's strangling my child. I got the police coming up here now. It's on camera. Soon as Sarah walked out the room, he's hurting my son and calling him in the N-word. Police is on the way. I put the camera in his hair. And
Do you have LMPD coming, or do you have safety?
the police is on the way. Y'all, my son has been abused at the school and they let this happen. My son has never pinched anyone. He's pinching him. But the choking and calling him a nigger, is that what y'all allow? Is that what y'all allow? My child is nonverbal autistic. And y'all call me every day, and said that he was doing stuff because he's being abused, and none of y'all seen it. So you didn't know? Did you not know he was being abused?
Absolutely not.
Did you know that he was being abused? Did you know he was being abused?
No, ma'am, I don't.
So y'all just let it happen. And I told y'all to investigate.
We're going to stop talking until the police get here, okay? So we can have it all officially on record.
Oh, it's on record.
Okay.
Everybody share this, because my nonverbal child has been abused and these people been letting it happen. He was choking him, calling him a nigger on
We're going to
camera.
stop talking until the police arrive, okay? All right. Let me call Officer Hughley and make sure he's coming down.
Something told me, put a camera. God told me.
You have
God told me.
You have LMPD.
Yes, God told me that he's a good boy at home. At church around a lot of people, he's a good boy. But somebody has to be doing something to him. And it took one day, one camera. And that's how God worked. You believe in God. That's how he worked. That's how the power of Jesus Christ do. Because if I would have kept him, I said I can't send him back to the school and sure somebody's abusing him. And my son was sitting down. And this man walks over to him and calling him a nigger and choking him. Do y'all have kids?
I have kids, man.
This has probably been happening every day. He's coming home with scratches on him, on his neck. It took one day.
Can you step out and dispatch the driver?
This is just the worst. This is just the worst. And my composure right now is like at the best. It's at the best. It's at the best. I'm upset because when I seen it, I was just crying. I was like, God, I see this all the time, but why my face? Why my sweet baby gotta go? And I kept sending her, I kept saying, just give him a chance, just send him to school, it's almost. I kept sending my baby to hell every day. And the whole time Sarah wasn't here. Soon as Sarah walked out the room, he walked up to Semaj and just started touching and choking him. So just thinking that weakness, he wasn't her. That y'all called me every day and I begged and pleaded. I said, look, I don't know what's going on. This is somebody I'm trusting to take my son to the restroom every day. This is the worst, my little baby, my sweet baby. And he's so small and sweet. And he wasn't doing nothing, he just was sitting down. He sat down the whole class. As soon as Sarah said, I'm going to the restroom, he walked directly up to my baby. I can't even let nobody see the footage. I gotta call a lawyer. Like, I have to call my lawyer. I can't even let nobody see this footage because I can't even. Oh, I'm just sick to my stomach. This is just the worst ever. And I gotta tell his father this, and his father told me don't send him to the school. Somebody's doing something to our son. And I still sent him.
This is gonna be hard. I want to thank everyone for being here with me, my son's father, James. I appreciate everyone being here. This all started because over the course of months, I was flooded with calls and complaints about my child's behavior. Behavior that was not typical, not normal, and not something as his parents we had ever seen in our sweet child. As his mother, I knew in my heart something was not right. I ordered a camera to be my son's eyes, his ears, his voice. I secretly hid the camera in his hair and sent him off to school on May 13th. And when I said I hid it, this is the camera I hid. So let's be clear. I stand before you not just as a mother, but as my son's voice, Semaj Lee. And standing with me is his father, James Baker. While I will be the only one speaking today, we stand united as parents fighting together for our son.
That's right.
Our son has severe nonverbal autism, meaning he could not speak. People say they want the facts. What can you ask him if he cannot speak? But I can. I am his voice, and I will speak for him. We trusted his school to protect him, to care for him, and to treat him with dignity. Instead, he was harmed, silenced, and failed by the very people who were supposed to keep him safe. What I discovered on the camera footage is something no parent should ever have to see or hear. Our child was put in a situation where he was scared, overwhelmed, and powerless. And while this was happening, there was adults in the room who did nothing to stop it. This is unacceptable. So today, we are demanding accountability and change. I'm calling for a full, immediate investigation. Every teacher, every staff member who has access to my son must be interviewed. There needs to be a complete and honest review of what is happening inside these classrooms. We are demanding that the individual who assaulted our son be terminated immediately. Yes. And prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And not just him. Any staff member who witnessed this abuse and chose to stay silent must also be terminated. Silence is not a face of abuse and just to be quiet and keep it going. It's you being complicity. My son has severe nonverbal autism. He cannot speak, but I can. I am his voice, and I will speak for him. And this cannot stop with my son. We are calling for a Semaj law, a policy that requires cameras in a classroom that serves nonverbal and vulnerable children. Our children deserve protection, transparency, and accountability at all times, not just when something goes wrong. No parent should have to question whether their child is safe at school. No child should suffer in silence because they cannot speak. My son deserves justice, and we will not fight. I will not stop fighting until he gets it, until no other child has to change or has to go through this. I am his voice, his eyes, his ears. He cannot speak, but I will speak for him. Justice for Semaj.